Good morning, guys, and welcome to episode 7 of Pull Up and Talk. And we are honored to have a guest this morning by the name of Antony from the YouTube channel Fun with Calisthenics. Good morning to my friend, my partner, Aldo from Crusades of Motivation. And good morning. Welcome to you, Antony, from Fun with Calisthenics. How you doing, brother?
Hi, it's great to be here, and what an introduction. It was good to see all that stuff because once I've made the videos, I don't often go back and replay them. So
Yeah, I know that. I don't usually watch it. Once I post something, I don't go back and see it either. But
yeah,
so I started my YouTube journey several years back, and I
yeah,
think that the algorithm knows us better than we know ourselves.
I think
And
so.
at some point, your videos popped into my feed. Like
Yeah,
obviously, we're the same age. Actually, I'm a couple of years older than you, but
yeah,
we won't get into that right now. But I think the first video that I saw of yours, which was very early on in your journey, was that muscle up video, your muscle up journey video, right?
yes, yeah.
And that had what, over one of them had a million
Oh,
or 2 million views, right?
yeah, I think it has now. Yeah, I think it's pushing about 2 million. Yeah, that was. I shall tell you a little bit about that.
Sure.
That video. So I was just getting into calisthenics, and up until that point I'd really just done lots of push-ups. That's kind of what I did for my first year, really. Then I saw this video of someone doing a muscle up on YouTube, and I thought, wow, that looks so cool. I need to learn how to do that. So I was sure I could do it, but I knew it's going to take a while, so I just went down to the local recreational park and took my camera with me and did a little bit of filming. Excuse me. And then, like, over a period of months, 3 months, I built up enough video footage to make a little video, and it all ended with me getting my muscle up. And it was really bad. My arms and legs are all over the place, but I got over the bar. And so I uploaded the video on YouTube, and it hit about 300 views. And then about 2 years later, it got up to about 1,000, and it just sat there for 2 or 3 years. And then suddenly, boom, one day, I woke up in the morning to see that it had taken off, and it's now like 2 or 3 years in, and it's done. Well, 5 years since the video, 2 or 3 years since it's taken off, and it's around about 2 million views now. And
Amazing. Amazing.
it still
Now,
gets
I want
lots
to
of
back up
views.
1 second now. At that point, when you're talking about making this, when you made the muscle up video, you were 55 years old.
I was 55. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
prior to that, in your earlier
Yeah.
days, did you work out? Were you athletically inclined, or how did you
Okay.
get to that point? Like, where you were just walking around one day and saw a pull-up bar and said, "I'm going to get up on top of that thing."
Yeah, kind of. No, not really. Yeah. So going back, so 55, I got into calisthenics. I wanted to focus on the muscle up. Between my 50 and 55, I probably didn't do really much exercise at all. It just wasn't really on my radar. I just lost interest. But going back to my 20s, 30s, and 40s, I was a runner, a long distance runner. And I wasn't interested in like upper body strength. I just wanted my legs to be strong and able to run long distance. So I just trained. I just ran. That's what I used to do. Didn't do much else. Didn't really go to the gym. Very infrequently, and just worked on running. And ran. I did the New York Marathon in America. That's the only time I've been to the States. I did the London Marathon a few times. Amsterdam, Paris, and then a whole bunch of them in the UK.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so I guess I was athletically fit, and I understood the concept of training hard and being resilient and staying consistent because of all my background in running. But then I decided to apply that to push-ups and then pull-ups and then the muscle up.
That's very interesting. So what was it for you, Mr. Anthony? Because that makes me really curious. What was it that sparked that in you? Because I understand that a lot of times we need that spark, but what is it for you
Yeah.
that gave you that spark that I'm gonna start doing push-ups? What was that?
Okay, well, I've only talked about this a few times, but I got into a new relationship in my 50s, early 50s, mid 50s. Yeah. Yeah, about 52, 53. And the lady I was starting to see and date, who is now my wife, she was very athletically fit, and I wasn't. I was putting on a few extra pounds. As we get older, we all do it. And I thought, I need to stay in shape, really. And so that was my first thing. And then secondly, in my around 52, 53, I was diagnosed with I don't really want to talk too much about this, but I diagnosed with a cancer, which really hit me for a few years. So between 53 and 54 into my 55, I was having a lot of treatment. And when I came out of that, and I'm pleased to say I've been in remission for 5 years, but
Right.
just before I came out of that, I decided I need to make myself as strong as possible. So if this thing returns, I'm in a good condition to deal with it.
Wow.
So that was like for me, that was, I woke up every morning thinking I need to do something to strengthen my body. And that was right here. So that was all part of it. It wasn't the single factor. The new relationship was quite important to me as well.
So you said that your wife is physically fit. Does she do
Yeah.
anything?
No,
Is she into calisthenics or weightlifting or
no,
something?
neither. She's always been big into yoga and Pilates and just generally keeping fit. She just is one of these people that has a athletic body, and I don't know, just always seemed to had it, and she's my age. So we're both 60, I'm just 61 now. But she's always been gifted with that good genetics, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
and I know Aldo gets asked this on his channel, and I hear it a lot. It's a question I get pretty frequently. What's your height and weight?
okay, so my
Everybody always
weight
wants to
is,
know that for some reason.
yeah, I know it's something you normally keep to yourself, but yeah. So I'm 80 kilograms at the moment, and
Which is what, about 106, 70,
oh,
67
I think
pounds?
so, yeah.
60. Hmm.
About
I think so. I'm
166.
not have to check. I'm not sure too much, but I fluctuate between about 79 and 81 kilograms. And just quickly on the weight bit before we go on to the height, a few people have said that I'll be much better at doing muscle ups if I could drop 5 kilos. So, which is about 10 pounds.
Right.
And I find that really hard to lose any weight at all. So, yeah. So,
Do,
okay. So that's my weight. So my height, you're going to want centimeters, aren't you? I'm 5'7".
Yeah, okay. So five, all right.
Yeah.
5'8". Okay.
Yeah. Just
All
under
right.
5'8".
well,
I mean,
that's funny. My journey was the same way, my lady. But now that you're
Yeah.
talking about your weight, so at the time when you started doing the push-ups and wanted to get into this calisthenics thing, did you also change your diet? Was that something that you changed as well, or
Yeah.
would you ever follow a good diet, or what's your diet like?
Okay. So up when I started doing push-ups and going through that life change, I became more conscious of what I was eating. But actually changing what I was eating and changing my diet didn't really happen for a few more years after that, to be honest. It was only more recently I'm trying to take a little bit more control of what I have for breakfast and what I have for lunch, like the midday meal. I don't know what you call it in America. We call it lunch in the UK. So it's like the midday meal. And then the evening meal is kind of a family meal. So, I can't say I want a high protein meal with no carbohydrates, for example, because there's other people around the table to think about. So the evening meal is just a normal family evening meal, say maybe meat and 2 veg, with some carbohydrates. But yeah, breakfast and lunch, I now take control of that. I normally have them on my own anyway. And I'm trying really hard to, like, high protein, always try and get the protein in, but not to overeat at breakfast time. I just have like scrambled egg is or a bit of Greek yogurt, and that's it. And then lunchtime may just be like a protein shake with a banana, maybe some oats in there and a bit of honey.
mhm.
And then the evening meal. And I would think I could lose weight on that, but I don't. I just stay the same.
You kind of maintain.
Yeah,
You can, okay.
yeah,
So I always say that, obviously the diet is extremely important, right?
yeah,
But also, and especially for, you and I now into our 60s, Aldo's still a young buck, so he recovers a lot better than we do.
yeah,
But
yeah,
recovery is a big thing. So what goes into that obviously is your diet, your sleep patterns, which a lot of
yeah,
people overlook. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Your stress levels and things like that. So what are your sleep habits? Do you have pretty regular because I worked shift work for over 30 years. I was
Oh
in law
wow.
enforcement. My sleep patterns were bonkers for 30 years, and
Yeah,
I never realized back then the damage that it does. So how about you? Do you keep a regular routine when it comes to your sleep and trying to
yeah.
like de-stress and things like that?
It's fairly regular. So normally in bed by about 11 p.m., 10:30, 11, and normally asleep. Well, normally asleep shortly after, to be honest. But yeah, I work hard to make sure I'm never not in bed with my eyes closed by midnight. I always like subconsciously I have a little rule with myself that make sure by midnight that day's finished and you're in bed and you're starting your sleep. Um, so it's very different from your like sort of shift pattern. And then mornings, I'm usually awake by 6:30,
Mm,
7 o'clock, something like that.
good. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to sleep a bit longer, but I just wake up and I'm wide awake often by about 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think we fall into that pattern, and you have that thing where your body gets on a certain rhythm, especially if you're doing it over. It's like anything, right? And your body's going to develop that habit, you know,
Yeah,
of just you just normally that's what you do.
yeah.
Um, and what about like we talked a little bit about your diet. What about supplements? You taking any type of
Supplements.
supplements?
Yeah. So I take creatine every day. Like I try and get my five 5 milligrams, isn't it? I think of creatine, the recommended dose. I've been doing that for about 3 years, and it's difficult, isn't it, to say if it makes a difference or not. But I like to think it does because I do that. Um, I try and take a protein shake with a couple of scoops of powder, so that's about 25 grams of extra protein in my diet every day, and that's it.
Mhm.
Don't take anything else. I have had I've dabbled in a few other things like this. I forget what it's called. Is it NMN or something like that?
Yeah, and yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of
So
these a lot of these biohackers. I just saw an article about it, like this Andrew Huberman, Peter Attia, who are big in this biohacking space, and they're
yeah,
always outing that. They were for quite a while, but I think now they're kind of saying like, maybe it's not as effective as we thought. So I think creatine. I tell people if you take nothing else, I think creatine
yeah,
is the best bang for your buck because creatine monohydrate has been studied and studied and studied again and again and again. And it's
yeah,
been proven to be safe, effective, and now there's even newer evidence that it could benefit people with Alzheimer's, cognitive abilities. So I don't see
yeah,
a downside to it.
yeah,
You never hear of somebody's. Oh, did you hear about Antony? He's in the hospital. What happened? He overdosed on
yeah.
creatine. You never hear that, right? It's
No,
it's it's safe. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I think creatine is always going to be
yeah,
a good bet. The other things are borderline. And again, like you said, I take the creatine. It's hard to say if I get a benefit. Um, I think a lot of people fall into this, and Aldo and I have had this conversation. People will take something, and it's very subjective. Well, I've been taking this, and I don't have as much brain fog, and I feel like I'm stronger in the gym. It's subjective, you know what I
yeah,
mean? But I don't see a downside to the creatine. I really,
yeah,
I take it. I don't take it as regularly as I should, or I want to. Sometimes I forget it, but yeah, I definitely add it in for
yeah.
sure. Right?
I found taking the gummies really help. Instead of the powder, I just have them in gummy form now. So I just think of it like taking a couple of sweets every morning.
Yeah.
So I get
Well,
up, have a morning coffee, and
and
a couple of gummies.
Well, you see that, and that's how they sell a lot of things. The gummy, and
Yeah,
they add a little bit of sugar. They make it
yeah.
taste nice, and they know you're going to take it.
And I fall
Um,
for it every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You're only
amazing,
human.
Mr. Anthony. I think it's so amazing that you started your journey, your 50s for the muscle up. And I think it's amazing that it only took you 3 months. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you said that you were a runner. So
Yeah.
you already had these methods in your belt, in your tool
Yeah.
belt, right? What were what are you, do you follow like a specific methodology to train? Do you do a split throughout the week? How is your
Okay.
training? I'm a freestyler, man. I'll just train. I never know what workout I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. I just get up and I'm gonna do this. So maybe the night before I think about it, and I'm gonna do this tomorrow. Do you
Yeah.
follow a method?
Well, if you when you did the intro, you saw all those different things I was doing in the
Uh-huh.
videos, and I was doing pretty much a bit like you, freestyling. And the way I used to train is I'd wake up every morning and think, what am I going to do today? And I'd try and think of something different to do every day. So there wasn't a set plan, there wasn't a program to follow. It was, what did I feel like doing? If I wanted to do dips, I'd do dips. If I wanted to do pull-ups, I'd do pull-ups. If I just wanted to do push-ups, it would just be push-ups. All different sorts of things. But over the last few years, I've tried to like rein it in a bit and become a bit more focused and have a program to follow. And I enjoy creating my own program. So I've just been mixing it up and doing all different things, but it's become more and more focused over the last 2 or 3 years. And now, right now, I'm working on, excuse me, something called a two-step method. And basically two-set method.
Mhm.
And basically it's, you just pick a number of exercises. So I'm just doing like 3 or 4 exercises and just doing 2 big sets of each. And then sometimes I do like a set at the end where it's just as many reps as possible with body weight or something. So it may be actually 3 sets, not strictly 2 sets. But it's
So
really,
you're talking about 2 weighted sets, and then you'll
yeah,
finish maybe with a body weight set,
correct. Yeah.
right?
So
Okay.
if I was doing pull-ups, for example, I'll do, hang on a sec, let me get this right. So with pull-ups, for example, I'll do a couple of sets, maybe 2 sets of 8 reps, just body weight, just to get my body warmed up a little bit and have like a 3-minute break. And then I'd go back and do a weighted set, like 6 to 8 reps, little break again. And then I'll come back and do another set of 4 to 6 reps, but with a slightly increased weight. And that'll be it for pull-ups. And then I move on to a different exercise, which in this case is dips. And then it'll be a little warm up of a couple of sets of 6 reps, just body weight, and then a set of 6 to 8, and then another set with a little bit more weight of 4 to 6 reps. So there's only, and then maybe to finish off, I do as many reps as possible, just body weight. So it's a short workout, but I've kind of adopted this recently because my regular full-time job is quite full on at the moment, and I don't really have as much time as I had before. So this works well because I can get the whole thing done in an hour. But what I have found is that because you're giving it absolutely everything in that last set, you really feel it. And it's sometimes, it's not easy to fit 2 sets in the week. Sorry, 2 workouts in the week, because I used to do a Monday and a Friday workout, or a Tuesday and a Saturday. But sometimes I need that little bit more time to recover, because this 2-set method with as many reps as possible to finish off with is actually quite intense. And it surprised me how much it takes out of me and how much rest I need afterwards.
Okay. So you started, like we said, with the muscle ups and your push ups, but then you did transition at some point into the weighted calisthenics
Yeah,
to the point where
yeah,
you actually started doing competitions. How did that come about?
yeah. So I started doing muscle ups just because I thought they looked really cool, and I just
Yes.
enjoyed doing them. And then once I
And they
started to
do.
get it,
They do look cool.
they do look really cool, don't they? So they're a great thing to do, and that's what really got me into it. I just thought I'd just love to be able to do that. And then started, once again, I got so much of my knowledge from YouTube, and I started seeing people doing like weighted calisthenics. And I thought, well, that looks quite cool. I'd like to do that. But I found it really hard to start with. The weights I was doing were, just a few kilograms, and I just couldn't believe what people were doing. But I just stayed consistent and trained regularly. And yeah, and then I saw these online on Instagram. There's in the UK, there's an organization called the UK Calisthenics Organization, and they do different calisthenics competitions. And some of them are weighted, and some of them are like more freestyle. Some are more like static holds, so like the planche and the front lever, back lever, and it's a whole range of things they do. But the thing that I thought I could get into was the 1 rep max pull-ups and dips, and that was it. Sorry. So basically, you have 3 attempts at doing the pull up with the maximum amount of weight, and there's 3 attempts with a dip with a maximum amount of weight, and you get like a 20-minute break in between each go, and you have a little warm up as well. So the whole thing takes like about 5 or 6 hours because there's lots of people competing, and it's a really good feeling. It's a great competition. There's a fantastic atmosphere, and yeah, so that's what I started doing, and I had a couple of I did a competition 1 year, and then a year later I did another. And then I discovered this other competition that they now do called it's called the power category, where you have 30 or 32 kilograms, and you have to do as many pull-ups as possible. And then the other set is dips. You have to do a 50-kilogram dip, as many reps as possible, and then body weight muscle ups. And these have to be really strict, really clean. Once again, many reps as possible. And that's the competition, and I just love it. It's just really good fun. The only downside or the tricky bit for me is I'm in the for the competition that has the pull-ups, the dips, and the muscle up. I'm in the veterans category, which means you've got to be once you're over 35, you're in that category. And being 61, I'm competing against people in their like late 30s, early 40s. So
Guys like Aldo. Aldo.
yeah, exactly. So it's like it's a challenge. So I expect to come in the bottom segment of the competition.
Well,
I just anticipate that.
Is it safe to say that any of the competitions you've been in so far, you've been the oldest guy there?
Oh yeah, all of them. Yeah. So I've done 4 competitions, and I've been the oldest every time. Yeah. Yeah. But I've still been on the podium a couple of times. So in some groups, there's not that many people. So, I can still get on the podium, which is, it feels good.
That's amazing.
It's a good photo op being on the podium too, right?
Yeah, it's a great photo opportunity. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. So what are your current, what are your PRs as far as the weighted pull up and the weighted dip?
So the weighted pull up, if you're talking about like the chin up with your palms facing towards you, I can do 51.25 kilograms. As a pull up with your hands away, your palms away from you. I did 45 kilograms, but I didn't record it. So I can't be 100% sure if I used my legs a bit of momentum, but it's around about 45 or just under. And then for my weighted dip, I've done 75 kilograms. I did it last year and early this year. I did it on 3 occasions, and I'm hoping, but I haven't done it for a few months. I'm hoping I've still got it in me to do sort of 75 kilograms.
And when is your next competition scheduled? Do you have something coming up?
Yeah, I do. In February, I've actually qualified for the UK national championships, which is bizarre, isn't it? It feels absolutely crazy at my age, but I've qualified for the UK national championships, and it's in February 2026. And that's the competition where I've got to do bodyweight muscle ups. It's going to be 30-kilogram pull-ups and 50-kilogram dips, as many reps as possible. And I've seen the competition because I know who's competing. These guys are on Instagram, and they're up here. Yeah. So I'm going to be going along. There's a few people I think I can beat on the day, so I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, just the fact that you're showing up is a win in itself.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. You know,
Yeah.
It's
just
amazing.
the fact that you're there and doing it, that it really is amazing, to be honest
You know,
with you.
what I'm really hoping for is that, and it might take a few years, maybe, I don't know, 5 years or something, there'll be more people of our age start competing. Sorry, not
Mhm.
you, Aldo. There's enough people of your age competing, but you know, the more people in their 60s start competing and they start having a category. I think in powerlifting they have like masters weights and senior categories and different ages for people in their 60s and 70s. So I'm just
Yeah.
kind of hoping that this sport evolves and we get more people competing at our age, you know, in
Yeah.
their 60s. So there'll be more people for me to compete against on an evil, you know, level keel, really.
Yeah,
But
You
exactly.
started it. You started it, Mr. Anthony. I mean, you being the pillar to this, because if you're saying right now, that's so amazing to me, and I got so much admiration for that.
oh,
Because
thank you.
for you to say, I don't care that there's a 30-year-old in there, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
do it. That's so
yeah,
amazing. And honestly, you starting this, so you being the pillar to what you're talking about. So
yeah.
that's pretty amazing.
I must admit, when I'm competing against the younger guys, you know, they kind of look at me and think, oh well, you know, he's not going to be very good. And I, you know, most of them beat me, you know, quite convincingly. But I think some of them are a little bit worried that, you know, if I'm having a good day and they're having a bad day, it's going to be a little bit embarrassing for them.
I'm sure
But
that's on. I'm sure that's on a lot of minds when they see you show up. Like, what is
yeah,
this guy bringing to the table here? That, you know, do I have to worry about this guy? So that's good.
yeah,
Keep them on
just
their
try and
toes,
keep them on their
Anthony.
toes.
We got to keep these young guys on their toes for sure.
Yeah,
So,
but
now, and also, you know, with all of this, with the weighted stuff and all, uh, of late, you've been dealing with an elbow injury, right?
yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Do you think that
Well,
that was brought upon by being a little over ambitious with the weights, or just was it your
yeah.
training style?
No, I was being over ambitious. I think I did it doing chin ups. So with my palms like facing me, I was trying to do too many and too much weight, not resting enough. And I started getting a little bit of a pain in my elbow. And I just thought I'd push through it. And then I had a competition coming up where I was going to be able to do chin ups. And I thought, oh my God, you know, I need to just push through it. So I eased off a little bit with the training, but then carried on and competed. After that, I went to see a sports therapist, and he said it was golfer's elbow. Now, there's something called tennis elbow, and there's something called golfer's elbow. They're very similar, but what I had was commonly known as golfer's elbow. And he's given me this six sessions of shockwave treatment, where it's a bit like when they put a pneumatic drill against the bone in your elbow and they fire it off like that at it,
Mhm.
like for about 2 or 3 minutes. And it's quite painful, but it's definitely helped, and it's helping a lot. And I suppose out of a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 9 out of 10 fixed.
Oh wow.
Great.
So yeah, it's made a big difference. So I'm very grateful for that.
Okay. So did that affect now moving forward? Obviously, you're going to be really, because I'm dealing with the tennis and the golfer's elbow is just one's on the inside and one's on the outside. But it's the same
Correct.
thing, right? It's
Yeah.
just that inflammation of that tendon, right?
Yeah.
There's some tendons in there, and it's basically that overuse thing. But
Yeah.
now, obviously, you're very aware of it, and I'm sure it affects every time you go to train. You're thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So has it changed anything that you're doing, or you just
It
kind of?
has changed. So in some of the competitions that I do, you can do either chin up or pull up. The choice is yours, which way around you do it. And I'm stronger doing a chin up, but that's when it aggravates my elbow. So I'm hoping that I can just focus on doing pull ups and get stronger in pull ups so it exceeds what I could do with the chin up.
Right.
So I might be like dreaming a bit, but I'm just really hoping there are, you know, some of the world records of pull-ups are when they use it, you know, they do it this way around.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking if I really push that, then I might be able to exceed what I can do in the chin up, and then maybe not do chin ups anymore if that's what's caused the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just leave that behind and just focus on what doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Yes.
that. I know that all too well. Aldo, you have anything else for Anthony?
No, man, just I want to give you the utmost admiration because I myself, man, I'm looking forward to be 60, and
Yeah.
that's I'm looking forward to be 100, man. And I think the way to get there is to keep on going into this journey of fitness, calisthenics, and to your channel, man, Fun with Calisthenics.
Yeah.
That's the perfect name for your channel because I see you doing all kinds of stuff, man. You're doing the rope, you're doing the pull-ups, you're doing the muscle-ups. And I admire that very much from somebody that doesn't really put a stop in their life or say because I'm 60 I'm not gonna do this. I'm
Yeah.
50 I'm not gonna do this. It's so impossible for me. So to you, man, I'll take my hat off. So much
Thank you.
admiration for you because that's just amazing, and that's really what I gotta say, man. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
thanks,
for
Aldo.
sharing it too because that you're helping so many people just by you being there on YouTube.
Well, I just enjoy it. I just enjoy the exercise, and I just can't even imagine what it would be like to say, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore. So I just keep going and just enjoy the process. But
I
yeah,
think I think that's key. I think a lot of people don't realize that as you age, that inactivity, not moving your body, it really is you're signing your own death warrant by doing
yeah,
that. You have to
yeah,
keep moving, you
yeah,
know. And that's what draws me to Aldo. I see I mean, he's a big inspiration to me, and I watch him. And for people to say, "Well, Anthony, hey, that's great. You get that's great for a guy your age." Well, what you do is great for a guy of any age,
Any
right?
age.
So I mean, I get where that comes from, and I hear it, and I think people are just trying to be, complimentary and all. Hey, for your age, that's pretty good, but
yeah,
for any age, what I see you do, and it certainly is an inspiration. I mean, I'm the same age as you when I was inspired,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I don't care whether you're 15 or 65 or 85. Somebody that watches what you do, and like Aldo said, you're climbing ropes, you're doing muscle ups, you're doing pull ups, you're entering competitions, you're doing weighted dips. What is this
Mhm.
guy not doing? So what's the excuse? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is no excuse. There is no excuse. So keep doing what you're doing. Now, you obviously Fun with Calisthenics, guys. Make sure you check out Anthony. You got other socials too, Anthony? Are you on
Yeah.
Instagram?
So I'm on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram. It's Fun with Calisthenics, and I've just signed up with TikTok a little while ago as well. So I'm not doing much on TikTok, to be honest. But yeah, basically YouTube and Instagram.
Great. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, Vinny and
Anthony,
Aldo, it's been great talking to you and great to meet you after all this time, because I've been following your channels too.
it really
Uh,
has. Like I said, you're a big inspiration, not only to us old guys, but to all the young guys, like Aldo said. Um, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I wish you all the best. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll certainly be following it. Guys, make sure you check out Anthony on Instagram. Fun with Calisthenics also on Instagram?
yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, Fun with Calisthenics on Instagram and on YouTube. Make sure you check him out. Thank you, Anthony, for being here. Aldo, my friend, thank you. I appreciate you, my
Thank you.
brother. We will talk to you in the next one. Thanks, guys.
See ya.